Yesterday, the American Enterprise Institute Housing Center dropped a data bomb that should be front-page news, but isn't. National home price appreciation hit just 1.1% year-over-year in February 2026, the lowest rate since AEI started tracking in 2012, and it's not stopping there.
According to the real estate site Redfin, the median sales price of a home in Phoenix is down almost 5% from a year ago.
I don't think that affordability is going to go all the way back to a point where people feel like it's manageable, right?
Well, now there's a new study finding that more than 75% of homes across the U.S. are unaffordable as the gap between wages and home prices widens.
AEI is projecting that by the first 3 weeks of April, the trend will go negative. And by the end of this year, single-family homes on average will be worth 1% less than at the start of 2026, with drops of 2% projected for both 2027 and 2028. Let that sink in. Not just 1 year of decline, 3 consecutive years. National prices going negative for the first time in over a decade. And this isn't some fringe prediction. This is AEI, the same think tank whose co-directors Ed Pinto and Tobias Peter have been among the most accurate housing forecasters in America. 28 out of the 53 largest metros are already posting price decreases, including every single metro in Florida, California, and Texas. We've been tracking this correction since Phase 1, and today we need to walk you through exactly where we are, because this market has now entered what we're calling Phase 5. Each phase has been distinct, predictable, and progressively more damaging, and Phase 5 is the one where it starts accelerating. Here's the full breakdown. Phase 1, the freeze, 2023 to early 2024. This was the standoff. Mortgage rates doubled, buyers stopped buying, but sellers also stopped selling because they were locked into 3% mortgages and had no incentive to move. Transaction volume collapsed. Existing home sales fell roughly 35% from their pandemic peak, but prices held because there was no inventory. Both sides were frozen. Nobody moved, and everyone assumed it was temporary. Phase 2, the crack, mid-2024 to early 2025. This was when sellers in oversaturated markets started breaking. Austin, Cape Coral, Tampa, Phoenix, the cities that overbuilt and overpriced during the pandemic began correcting. Inventory started climbing. Price cuts became common, but it was dismissed as a regional issue. Florida's problem, Texas's problem, not your problem. Meanwhile, foreclosure filings nationally rose 14% in 2025, with Texas leading the country at 37,215 foreclosure starts. The crack was widening, but most people weren't looking at the right cities. Phase 3, the spread, mid-2025 to late 2025. The correction stopped being regional. By mid-2025, 110 of the 300 largest U.S. housing markets, more than 1 in 3, were posting year-over-year price declines. Denver joined the list. Sacramento, Stockton, Memphis, San Antonio, Dallas. The common thread wasn't geography anymore. It was overbuilding plus affordability stress plus migration slowdown. Builder confidence fell below 50 and stayed there for what is now 21 consecutive months. 65% of builders were offering sales incentives. 40% were cutting prices outright. The spread was undeniable. Phase 4, the stall, early 2026. This was the phase where the whole country felt it. New home sales collapsed 17.6% in January 2026, the weakest reading in over a year, with builders sitting on a bloated 9.7-month supply of unsold homes. Pending home sales plummeted 9.3% in December 2025, the steepest drop since April 2020. Redfin found there were over 600,000 more sellers than buyers, a 47% gap, an all-time record. The spring selling season that was supposed to bring buyers back, it arrived fragile. Market conditions were described as better than last year but fragile. Buyers existed, but they were cautious, cost-conscious, and increasingly backing out before closing. Phase 5, the acceleration, now. And this is where we are today. Phase 5 is fundamentally different from what came before, because for the first time in over a decade, national home prices are going negative. Not just in the Sun Belt, not just in overbuilt metros, but as a national trend. AEI's data shows home price appreciation at 1.1% in February, down from 1.6% a month earlier, down from 3.1% a year ago, and now projected to go negative by April. The trajectory is not flattening, it's steepening. And the forecast, 1% decline through end of 2026, then 2% in both 2027 and 2028, represents a cumulative 5% national price drop. Adjusted for inflation, prices are already negative, down 1.3% in real terms through February. And the regional picture is even more severe. Cape Coral is down 9.6% year over year, Northport down 6.1%, Memphis down in the same range, Tucson and Palm Bay also deeply negative. Meanwhile, the Rust Belt is surging, Kansas City up 8.6%, Cleveland up 5.9%, Pittsburgh up 5.8%. Fortune is calling it a historic reversion to the mean, the formerly sizzling metros going cold, the unsexy plotters back in vogue. You could almost swap the best performers of 2022 into the worst column today. What's driving Phase 5 is a combination of forces that are self-reinforcing. Affordability remains broken. 65% of households can't afford a median-priced new home. Mortgage rates ended last week at 6.45%, with recent highs near 6.64%, still far above the rates most locked-in homeowners hold. The lock-in effect is fading as the share of mortgages above 6% now exceeds the share below 3%, meaning more owners are being forced by life events to sell into a declining market. And broader economic uncertainties, the conflict with Iran, tariff volatility, and a softening labor market, are keeping buyer confidence suppressed. Phase 5 is where stagnation becomes decline, where holding steady becomes losing value, where the owners who thought they could wait it out realize the bottom isn't here yet. AEI's Ed Pinto says it simply, prices in the former hotspots must fall further for buyers to cover the monthly costs at current rates, and over time, rental costs exert a gravitational pull on housing prices, yanking them downward. Real quick, if this breakdown is helping you see the full picture, hit that bell. We track these phases in real time every week. So what comes next? And what should you do? If you're a homeowner in a Sunbelt or overbuilt market, understand that Phase 5 means your window to sell at current prices is narrowing. AEI is projecting further declines through 2028. If you need to sell in the next 2 years, pricing to today's market now is smarter than hoping for a rebound that the data says isn't coming. If you're a homeowner in the Midwest or Northeast, your market is different. Inventory is tight, prices are still rising, and you have time. But don't assume you're immune. If the national trend goes negative and economic conditions deteriorate, even supply-constrained markets feel the drag eventually. If you're a buyer, Phase 5 is where patience starts paying off. Prices are softening, sellers are negotiating, builders are desperate to move inventory. You have more leverage right now than at any point since 2019. But be strategic. Buy in a market you understand, at a price that makes sense at today's numbers, with a reserve fund that gives you room to breathe. Don't catch a falling knife, but don't wait for a bottom nobody can time. Here's the bottom line. Phase 1 was the freeze. Phase 2 was the crack. Phase 3 was the spread. Phase 4 was the stall. Phase 5, right now, is the acceleration. National home prices going negative for the first time in over a decade, 3 years of projected decline ahead, and the markets that went up the fastest are coming down the hardest. The data isn't ambiguous, it isn't arguable. It's right there in black and white from one of the most respected housing research centers in the country. The question is whether you're going to use it. Subscribe with the bell on. Drop a comment telling us what phase your market is in. Are prices still holding, or have you already tipped? See you in the next one.